রেশমা এসমা হৃদয় রমা পরানো পুতলি গো একবার এসমা এসমা আমার হৃদয় আসনে হমা আসিনা হৃদয় আসনে হমা আসিনা নিরক্ষিত মারে গো একবার এসমা এসমা জন্মবধি আমি তব মুখ চেয়ে ধরিয়ে জীবন কি যাতনা সয়ে জন্মাবধি মাগো তোর মুখ চেয়ে ধরিলে জীবন কি যাতনা সয়ে তা তো জানো মা অন্তরের ব্যথা তা তো জানো মা অন্তরের কথা আমার হৃদয় কমলে বিকাশ করিয়ে আমার হৃদয় কমলে বিকাশ করিয়ে তাহে প্রকাশ হও আনন্দময়ী একবার এসমা এসমা আমার হৃদয় রমা পরানো পুতলি গো
আর কি ঠিক করেছো কোনটা কোনটা গাইবে?
Well, I will try to sing. No, but it is an emotive experience. This is a song which Swami Paramananda used to sing. This was taught to our mother, and then our mother had taught to every of her child and grandchildren too. There's an English version of this song which I would like to read out first. this English transliteration has been done by Sheba, who is here, our niece. The English translation or transliteration runs like this: O mother, come, come once, my beloved mother, my heart's most cherished, fondest mother. Mother, be seated on thy throne in my heart, so that I can keep my gaze on thee. Since I've come to this earth, I'm walking through life with rending pain, only by looking up to you, Mother. Thou knowest my innermost thoughts and struggles, blossom the lotus of my heart, and reveal thy blessed presence, O blissful Mother. আমার হৃদয় আসনে মা আসিনা, হৃদয় আসনে মা আসিনা, নিরক্ষিত মাঝে গো একবার এসো মা, এসো মা, আমার হৃদয় রমা জন্মবধি আমি তব মুখ ধরি রে জীবন কি যাতনা সয়ে, জন্মবধি মাগো তোর মুখ ধরি রে জীবন কি যাতনা সয়ে, কত জন্মা অন্তরের ব্যথা, কত জন্মা অন্তরের ব্যথা, আমার হৃদয় কমল করিয়ে বিকাশ, হৃদয় কমল বিকাশ করিয়ে তাহে প্রকাশ আনন্দময়ী, একবার এসো মা, এসো মা, আমার হৃদয় রমা একবার এসো মা, এসো মা।
those who are here are children of Mama's brothers and sisters, so they're all connected in that way. So when you meet the family outside, ask them who they're related to. Which sister or brother are you? Also, I want to, does anyone have a question that you would like to ask of Mama?
I think he should share what it was like when he saw Swami Paramananda.
Will you share what it was like when you saw Swami Paramananda?
Well, I saw him when I was 6+. I can't recollect his voice, but I vividly remember him. A very handsome person walking. Sister Doya was with him. I was very naughty. She branded me as the rascal of the family. That name, which I still hold. Well, I never could go very near him because I will be spoil sport. So, well, that was it. But I vividly remember him. There's no doubt. I must be one of the, now in this room, only person to have seen him. Am I correct?
No, Raj is Rajesh.
Rajesh?
Yeah, but I've seen him.
Well, good.
But I don't remember.
He was a little baby, but he didn't go into his lap.
You were a little baby and you
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
in the 1937 visit, Swami Paramananda had gone to Rajeshri's parents in their Calcutta house. Am I correct?
Yes.
So Rajeshri,
Rajeshi and Shebama are sister and brother, and they are the children of Rangama, Atre. So about 8 or 9 years younger than Mataji.
it should be more.
Mama
9
was
years.
born in 1913 and Mataji 1906.
7
So,
years.
Yes,
7 years.
Yes. Any other questions? Well, I asked Badal Mama ahead of time whether he had known the poet Tagore, and he said yes. And so, would you just share some of your impressions of Rabindranath Tagore? And both of you, you are a trained Tagore singer, and Manashi Adhikari is also a trained Tagore singer. That means being trained by Shantiniketan directly. So, please tell us a little bit about that.
Well, one of the reasons for our moving out of Calcutta to Shantiniketan, that happened immediately after Swamiji's death. The reasons were obvious. Well, I was 9+ then, 1940 was the year, and I had the privilege of seeing him for about 1.5 years, touching his feet on 4 occasions, and also seeing him closely very often. He had visited the Vedanta Center in Boston in one of his visits between 1912 and 20. I can't say when it is. He was also present in the Parliament of Religion in 1937 at Vermont. And later on, we had very close connections with Tagore. Swamiji's youngest sister, Lavandalekha, was a widow, and widowed very young. And our father sent her to Tagore in 1901, the year the Shantiniketan school was first started. And Tagore took initiatives to get her married for the second time with a very eminent scholar then, Adi Chakravarti was his name. And this was the second widow marriage Tagore had arranged. First one was between his son and Pratima, his daughter-in-law, and second was Lavandalekha and Adi Chakravarti.
And what's unusual about a widow marriage?
Well, this couldn't happen. It just couldn't happen. One of the reforms that was brought out in the Bengal Renaissance was this widow marriage, for which Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Devendranath Tagore, all fought. So, well, it was very, very upcoming. And my childhood memory is this, all the 4 sisters of my father, Kirada Sundari, Kadambini, Hemnodini, and Abunalekha, were widows. Well, that is it.
And they are not allowed to get married again. They become like nuns after their husbands die. May I ask you one other question? And that is, Shantiniketan is such an unusual educational venture, very pioneering, the vision that the poet had. Could you describe what it was like being at school and what was different about it than most schools?
Well, basically it was a school where you learn as you play and sing and go through nature. Initially the school was started as a new education center, but later there was a lot of opposition because the children who used to pass out from the school must have a formal degree. So his school eventually had to affiliate it to the University of Calcutta. He didn't like it, but he had to accept it. But this was a very, very uniform education, no school building. We all used to study outdoors on the shade of the tree. And a rainy day was a big holiday for us and we used to look for it. In nitty-gritty of education, but you could go to learn music, you could go to learn handicrafts, you could go to learn painting. Well, that's how we have grown. Well, that was what it was totally open-ended school. You can pick up any subject.
I think one aspect you left out, Swamiji's influence on the children of the family towards higher education in the USA.
I know. Well,
This is very important to the whole family.
that's right. Well, our elder brother came over to Prabhucharan, came to USA in early part of 1920s. He did his master's from Harvard. And he went back to India in 1928 after doing his doctorate in London. It was all because of Swami Jagan, as he said. His father, Pratibha, our second son, did his engineering from MIT when he came to Boston. 2 of our sisters, Lilavati, Amita's mother, and another sister, Shita, they came over to US in 1934 and both graduated from Harvard. Lilavati, as you know, got married here and we have an American brother-in-law. Amita is one of them here. Others are David Douglas, Donald and Amita. And Shita went back to India. But at least, well, in many ways, there are many personal things which do come to my mind. But basically, I wanted to concentrate on Swamiji's, what happened to Swamiji's family at large during his absence here. So that was what I tried to focus. Well, whatever has happened to us, we firmly believe is because of the blessing of Swami. This is, I say, my wife will join me. She is a disciple of Gayatri Ma. We firmly believe, the blessings that we receive from him, the protection that we get from him, even now, is overwhelming. It's difficult to describe and pinpoint each and everything, but this is a fact here. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Have we liked the Centenary so far? Yes. let me share with you that this Sunday, at our 11 o'clock service, Mama and Manashi and a lot of we have wonderful singers in this family. So they're going to do the entire music for Sunday. So please join us again on Sunday. And then, I have to look at this so that I get it straight. Sunday, June 21st, at the 11 o'clock service, we will be observing Swami Paramananda's Day of Liberation. And then on Thursday, June 25th, we will be having the 100th anniversary kirtan right here in the temple with musicians from both coasts, and that will begin at 7 o'clock sharp. And then on Sunday, June 28th, we'll have our 11 o'clock service. And then after the service at 1 o'clock, we will be having the 100th anniversary Bengali dinner using Mataji's and Swamiji's recipes. So you'll have beautiful, delectable Bengali food. Tickets will be sold after every service between now and then. And then on Thursday, July 2nd, we will be showing Miss Catherine Sherwood's 1927 film. Swami Paramananda and Mataji Gayatri Devi and all kinds of things are on that film. So that will be right here in the temple. So as I said, postpone all weddings and graduations. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light, from ignorance to wisdom, from death, disease, and mortality to our true state, immortal and resplendent. O effulgent one, reveal thyself, that knowing thee as our one and only self, we may become illumined and free. Peace, peace, peace be unto us, and unto all living beings. Why don't we have the family come back so that you can meet all of our congregation and they can all see you and greet you. Come and come, Ashram.
Mama and Nanduga. Let's go. Amare Degnare Hokani Nishidin Novera. Amare Devo Hasi.
মানে মামা আর তোমরা দুজনে একরকম গাইছো
না মিলছে না প্লাস ইট সাডেনলি দ্য ভলিউম ইজ অ্যাকচুয়ালি নট গোইং আপ গোইং ডাউন সো আই ক্যান একসঙ্গে গাই যারা যতটা পারবে আই থিংক দিস ইজ এভরিবডি
Yademi is a much bigger song. It's a song.
I always sang three voices.
Yes, because there are two. কারণ মঞ্চকবিতা গানে তুমি দেখো তিনটে লাইনই খাওয়া খাওয়া হয়।
তুমি করো।
আমি
কেন বলছি?
না না তুই
আমার তোমার মিলছে না গো। আর একদিনের মধ্যে
বাবা করো, তোমার গলা খুব ভালো।
আরে না
হ্যাঁ তুমি করো আর আমি বড় যদি ঝড়ের মেঘে আমি করি দুটো দুজনে একসঙ্গে মিলছে না এখন এমনটা হবে না বুঝেছো করো তুমি বাজাও আমি বাজাচ্ছি
একটা কোরাস হোক, দু একটা সোলো, তোর একটা সোলো। সেই ভালো।
Krishna Vidajaritāra Vreda
লাস্টটা শুধু দয়া করে দাও ঈশ্বর, দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো।
লাস্ট হলো ভুলে গেছিস তো
না তো আমি শিখিয়েছি আমার নালে স্কুলে।
আমি ভুল শিখেছি।
আর ভুল শিখিয়েছি।
না স্বরলিপিতে প্রমোশন না। বাবা যা জানি তাই
একটু মেনে নাও আমার কথা, তুমি ভুল শিখিয়েছো।
আমি স্বরলিপি থেকে করি, বলতেই শুনলাম। প্রথমটা শুধু লাস্টেরটা করো, লাস্টটা সব করো। তুমি স্বরলিপিতে কাজ করো, ফটোকপি করে পাঠিয়ে দাও। ঝড়ে সবাই মেয়েরা গাও।
হ্যাঁ, এই গানটা
মেয়েরা, মেয়েরা, মেয়েরা। ঝড়ের মেঘের মতো আমি ভাই, চঞ্চল অন্তর, তবে দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো
কি
হে।
করে করছিস করো
আমি করছি তোমার জন্য।
না না করোই রে, তুই কথাগুলো দেখ না। যদি ঝড়ের বেগে আমি ধাই তবে দয়া করো হে আমাকে।
কিংবা দয়া কর। দুটোই হতে পারে বেসিক্যালি।
হ্যাঁ, হতে পারে।
তোমাকে স্বরলিপি
বার
দেখতে
করি
পারি।
এই তো ঝড়ের মেঘের মধ্যে নেই।
হ্যাঁ, পারবে। হ্যাঁ, এখানে পারবে।
এটার মধ্যে নেই।
আছে ঝড়ের মেঘে
আচ্ছা, আমার কাছে লেখা আছে। আমি-
Two experts.
তবে দয়া করো হে,
দয়া করো হে।
দয়া করো হে, দয়া করে দাও হে। আমি অপাপ পুরুষ দীন এসেছি পাপে রূপে। প্রভু দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে, দয়া করে দাও
দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে ঈশ্বর।
সবই করো, সবই করো। একটু তো এটা একা গাও।
না না মেয়ে
হ্যাঁ, আমি এত আগে
না, না, করো না, ভালো লাগছে।
খুব সুন্দর লাগছে।
হ্যাঁ, খুব ভালো লাগছে।
আমি ভাই চঞ্চল অন্তর, তবে দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে ঈশ্বর। করা গেল আমার আসছে। ঝড়ের মেঘের মতো আমি ভাই, চঞ্চল অন্তর, তবে দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে,
Kanaida in my sister Chandan and Badolda's house long time ago when I was quite young and energetic. And he asked me to translate this book into Bangla. And at that time I didn't have any experience, but just loved the language. And I did it. And of course in a family, I was busy otherwise with many other obligations and disasters and catastrophes, things like that. And sometimes I was a little slow, and he would keep me urging from Kolkata, writing me letters, Pori, how far are you? I said, I haven't gotten 1/3, but this had happened, I was in an accident. He said, oh, these are just excuses. And I did it, and I had a very, very rewarding time because it was my special time. Nobody could take it away from me. But at that time, I just derived such joy in doing that. And Kannada said, this will bring you something very special. And I didn't know what that meant, but I know it now. And I feel very lucky to be here. And there are many, many coincidences that created this moment. There are too many to talk about, but especially these two and my wonderful daughter and her husband brought me here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to read one poem from here that I translated. Love, thou art my God. Love, thou art my God, my goddess, my master and my mistress, my consort, my playmate, my comrade and companion, all these and more art thou. Sweet ecstasy of life I find in thee. With thee I am, without thee I am nothing. Now thou hast come to me, I feel secure, all cares are gone. My faith and courage have blossomed like twin flowers. My heart is like a green garden, fragrant after a shower of dewdrops at dawn. Love, stay with me, stay on. Without thee, life is a desolation. Yet I will not hold thee nor urge thy staying. Thou art delicate, most tender. I will not press, but only I will invoke, worship, and pray at thy shrine. Om Shanti.
Love, thou art my God, my goddess, my master and my mistress, my consort, my playmate, my comrade and companion. All these and more art thou. Sweet ecstasy of life I find in thee. With thee I am, without thee I am nothing. Now that thou hast come to me, I feel secure. Oh, now I need the words. All chains
of fear.
Warimashi?
Now
Our
that thou
God
hast come to me, I feel secure.
Our God, my faith and courage have blossomed like twin flowers. My heart is like a green garden, fragrant after a shower of dewdrops at dawn. Love, stay with me, stay on, oh, stay on. Without thee, life is a desolation, a desolation, a desolation. Yet will I not hold thee, nor urge thee in thy staying. Thou art delicate, most tender. I will not press, but only will I invoke, worship and pray at thy shrine. Love, thou art my God, my goddess, my master and my mistress, my playmate, my consort, my comrade and companion. All these and more art thou.
Who gave you music?
And she stayed at Kanai Mama's residence, and we all got together. We were in Shantiniketan. My parents brought all of us, and I sang for her. And I'm not saying anything because I'm not that, but Mataji predicted or said, "You are going to be a musician." So I remember that, and one of the songs is Taitamaranandama.
Thank you.
called up to the ashram and find out if they were having a service that night. And they said yes. And they said, by the way, our teacher is here. And I didn't care about that. It was that there was going to be a meditation class. And so I went up there, and Mataji came up the side aisle in those days. And when she turned, I had had a vision of her face when I was 14 years old. And it was the face that I would see that night. It was not the face of how she was when I was 14, much younger, but the minute that she turned, I recognized the face that I had seen when I was 14. And it was like the entire culmination of my spiritual life. And it just, of course, naturally transformed my life. And so after the service, Mataji was having a communion service down in, and she sent Anupoma to make sure that I came down to the living room to be with the family. And then I said to her, I need to speak with you, I need to speak with you. So she said, how about Good Friday? And so after Good Friday service, I went down to her study and I said, I told her about my experience and I said, would you give me your blessing? Because I'd read that's what you're supposed to say. And she said, what if I give you my love instead of
That's Ma.
That's Ma. It's when I really did have my first official interview and asked her for initiation, which was soon after that. The first thing she said, she was sitting outside her quarters, and the first thing you hear is my guru, my teacher, my all in all. And the first thing she said to me was, hi. And it was like so disarming. Hi. Very nice. So share yours.
Literally saying, oh, you need to go to this place in Cohasset, and there's this Indian woman and everything, and I thought, oh, this is the last place I want to be, you know. Oh, you must come, so, all right, fine. I went, and I came, and Mataji was in California, and Brother Cherry was speaking. But I was taken by the music and by him, he gave a wonderful talk and everything. So then I put my name on the mailing list, and I heard that Mataji was coming back, so I came. And I sat in the congregation, and she got up and she gave a talk, and that was it. And I just looked at her, and that was it. Everything she said just pulled everything in my life together, you know. So just that one. But it took somebody to drag me, and I kicked and screamed. I did not want to come. But, I came.
So we should thank that person.
We should. I thank that person myself many times in my consciousness. Yes.
How did you find Mataji, Jyoti?
I had somebody ask me, would you like to go to an Indian temple in the middle of the woods? I'm like, wow, that sounds exciting. So I went, and I think Yarma was speaking. No, it was Father Martin was speaking.
The Marino priest.
Yes. And I was going to the Catholic Church at the time, and we had an Indian priest there. It's just so funny, you know. And Ma wasn't there then. But as soon as I came and I sat there, I just felt like I'm home. And then when Ma spoke, there was something in her eyes that she just lit up. You know, there was this sparkle that I've never seen in anybody before. And I just got lost in her talks. She could have talked for 4 hours and 10 hours, and I would just sit there. Later in her life, she did speak, you know, till maybe 1 o'clock. And she forget.
She did.
She forgot,
Later
you know,
years.
and I would go, oh, is that all? You know, I would like even more time. So, I don't know, she just stole my heart then.
But you were very, very scared of her, right? Remember you told me that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, as, you know, to be her disciple, and, yeah. Well, it was too hard for me then, because my husband was alive, and I couldn't put the time here that would be needed.
I think it's hard for people to.
Irked by something that would happen that someone who wasn't in the room had done. And she would be telling us how irksome it was that this person had done this, and it was almost, the undercurrent was, just you wait,
Yes.
Henry Higgins. And then Henry Higgins would walk in and she would say, "Oh, Baba, where have you been?" And we would all look, because some of us would be saying, "Oh, he's gonna get it." And then she didn't.
Left USA, I think, before USA, and he told me that story about Swamiji. What happened was, Kanai was in the States, he finished his college, education, and he joined a job. And that was the last day of the month when he got his paycheck. So he was very happy, and he came to the ashram and said that he got his paycheck and gave it to showed it to Swamiji. And Kanai said, Swamiji looked at it and then put the check in his pocket. He didn't give it back to him. And I said, oh my goodness, no, he was just taken aback that it was his first paycheck and he had so many plans to and all that. And so he didn't know what to say. But on the same evening, all friends had arranged for some kind of get-together party, like in a place, restaurant, like in a meeting together place. So Kanai said, told Swamiji, I won't be in the ashram in the evening, so I'm going to go to that party. So Swamiji looked at him and said, okay. So then Kanai thought he will give him back the check, but he didn't.
In the name of
He didn't know what to do. He didn't have any money. Or go to the party. But he didn't know what to do. He couldn't tell his friends that this has happened and all that. So, but anyway, he decided that he will go. So he went there. But Kanai Mama says, when I entered the place, I knew that it was not a right kind of place for me to come here. Probably the atmosphere, the environment, he didn't know about it. So he came out from there. After a few minutes or so, he came out from there. He didn't like it there. He didn't tell me the details of what, but he said it was not a good place. So he came out from there, and when he was looking, he saw Swamiji's car. And Swamiji came, opened the door and said, come in. So Kanai, went in, and Swamiji said, I knew you will be able to come out from here.
That's a great story.
And then he took the check and gave it.
Yes, you do it.
I thought that he may, if he doesn't happen like what he had thought, Swamiji, that if he doesn't come out, he will spend that money there. So he didn't want him to spend. So he had the premonition to know what will happen in the future. So,
Wow.
so he said,
Something.
Kanai Mama said, he looked at me and said, I knew you would be able to come out from there.
Very.
She had only one sister who's she's still alive, 6 years her senior. Now, as it happens in those days, her elder sister got married at a very young age, at the age of 13 or 14. So thereafter my mother and she was married to Tagore's own nephew, Tagore's nephew. So my mother, was again motherless after her sister got married and went off to her in-laws' house. So my mother would spend most of her days, her holidays and most of her time at the Tagore's ancestral house, which is in Jurashako in Calcutta. So one such afternoon, she was, I think, some 8 years or 9 years of age. She was playing in this famous huge courtyard in Jurashako when there was suddenly, hot summer afternoon, sudden activity at the gate, and the security at the gate came running in, and said there is a sadhu who has come all the way from America, and he has come to see Tagore. So there was a flurry of activity in the Tagore household, and all the adults and all the children rushed out to see this person, and my mother said, I set my eyes on this person for the first time, and it was magnetic, his personality, his looks. Saffron clad sadhu was Swamiji, who had gone to meet Tagore.
I didn't know you
And
were
my
allowed
mother
to-
saw him when she was 8 years old.
In 37,
And little did she know,
Swamiji's last visit, yes.
yeah, and little did she know that 10 years later she would be married into Swamiji's nephew.
What a great.
She would be married to the same family.
Actually,
This is a very favorite song of both Mataji and Shonamashi. Shonamashi meaning
It's the first time she taught me
জীবন পূর্ণ whatever I see will be light, my pain will burn, and the flames will be directed upwards towards thee. আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো ভ্রমণ গানে। আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে, আমারে দেহখানি তুলে ধরো, তোমারই দেবালয়ে প্রদীপ করো, আমারে দেহখানি তুলে ধরো, তোমারই দেবালয়ে প্রদীপ করো। নিশিদিন আলোক শিখা জ্বলুক প্রাণে, নিশিদিন আলোক শিখা জ্বলুক প্রাণে। আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে, আধারের গায়ে গায়ে পরশ তব, সারা রাত কোটাম তারা নব নব। আধারের গায়ে গায়ে পরশ তব, সারা রাত কোটাম তারা নব নব। নয়নের দৃষ্টি হতে ঘুরছে কালো, যেখানে পড়বে সেথায় দেখবে আলো। নয়নের দৃষ্টি হতে ঘুরছে কালো, যেখানে পড়বে সেথায় দেখবে আলো। দেখামোর উঠবে জ্বলে ঊর্ধ্বপানে, দেখামোর উঠবে জ্বলে ঊর্ধ্বপানে। আগুনের
প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে কিন্তু, হ্যাঁ মনে রেখো। আচ্ছা সরি,
আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো ভ্রমণ গানে। আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে। এটা আরেকবার করতে
আরেকটু
হবে।
বলো। ছোঁয়া, লিসেন প্লিজ। ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে, প্রাণটাকে লম্বা করে
করতে হবে।
ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে,
আরেকবার কর, কিন্তু আমরা শুনি না।
ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে। তো ঠিক আছে, এই তো। আর তো নাও মামা, আমি তোমাকে একটু দেবো, বলো।
স্কেল দিলেই হবে।
এই কাজে
বাহ।
গেলেই বাজাবো।
Fine, that's what happened.
একটু আস্তে বাজা।
रस पुराने विदीर्ण धातु अद्रिवः मेरा सुख शब्द मेरा यदे मे कृत्वा समहदीनता प्रतीपं जगमासु चेत् कृत्वा समहदेनता प्रदीपं जगमासु चेत् मेरा सुक्षत्र मृडय यदे मे अपमते दस्तिवंसं कृष्णा विदजनितारं मेरा सुक्षत्र मृडय मेरा सुक्षत्र मृडय यदे
যদি ঝড়ের মেঘের মতো আমি হাই চঞ্চল অন্তর, তবে দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে ঈশ্বর। যদি ঝড়ের মেঘের মতো আমি হাই চঞ্চল অন্তর, তবে দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে ঈশ্বর। আমি অপার পুরুষ দীনহীন, এসেছি পাপের মূলে। সরি, এটা হবে না। ওহে অপার পুরুষ দীনহীন, এসেছি পাপের মূলে। ওহে অপার ওহে অপাপ পুরুষ দীনহীন আমি অভিমান। ওহে অপাপ পুরুষ দীনহীন আমি এসেছি পাপের কূলে। প্রভু দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে, দয়া করে নাও তুলে। ওহে অপাপ পুরুষ দীনহীন আমি এসেছি পাপের কূলে। প্রভু দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে।
কিন্তু মামা তো এর থেকে নিচে গাইতে হবে না।
আজ কর না করবো
হিসাবে করবো মামা লাস্ট লাইন।
লাস্ট করে দিচ্ছি
হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা কিন্তু দয়া করো যেটা ধরছিস না, প্রথম দয়াটা কিরকম ধরছিস? ঝড়ের মেঘের মতো আমি হাই চঞ্চল অন্তর, প্রভু দয়া করো। তবে প্রভু না,
তবে
হ্যাঁ
সরি
কথা থেকে আসছে
আচ্ছা আসবে এতবার গাইছি না
হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা,
তবে দয়া করো। যদি ঝড়ের মেঘের মতো আমি হাই চঞ্চল অন্তর, তবে দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো হে ঈশ্বর। যদি ঝড়ের মেঘের মতো আমি হাই চঞ্চল অন্তর, তবে দয়া করো হে, দয়া করো মায়ের শ্রী মায়ের ছবি বা সে কি বলে কামার জয়রাম বাটিতে দাওয়ায় বসে
কি চমৎকার, এটা খুব দেখা যায় না,
খুব uncommon সেটা, রেয়ার ছবি, ওয়ান অফ দ্য রেয়ার।
সুষিমা ওয়াজ ভেরি সাপোর্টিভ যখন কনফ্লিক্ট হচ্ছিল খুব আবেদানন্দকে নিয়ে she was very supportive of our Swamiji, উনি ব্রহ্মানন্দ স্বামী।
ওনার কথা লেখা আছে তো একটা সে বইতে,
ব্রহ্মানন্দ আর অলসো
পরমা বসন্ত,
শিবানন্দ, খুব
হ্যাঁ বসন্ত লেকচার দেয় আর ওখান থেকে টাকা পাঠায়। তারপর যখন স্বামীজি আসবার কথা ভাবলেন দেশে কোনো এক সময়, তখন লিখেছিলেন হ্যাঁ আসবে কিন্তু বড় ম্যালেরিয়া, বড় ম্যালেরিয়া, তুমি ভেবে এসো, এরকম ধরনের লেখা।
আরেকটা হয়েছিল চন্দন, স্বামী অভেদানন্দ তো সঙ্গে তো কনফ্লিক্ট হয়েছিল, উনি চাননি আরেকটা বেদান্ত সোসাইটি হয়, তার আগে তো ত্রৈলোকানন্দ
ত্রিগুণাতীতানন্দ না সেটা তাই জন্যই তো স্বামীজি সরে যেতে হলো, ওখানে এরকম ভাবে চলছিল সব।
তার আগে ত্রৈলোকানন্দ মহারাজ গেছেন, তার আগে
গান্ধীজি, রবীন্দ্রনাথ, যীশু খ্রিস্ট, এইটা কার ছবি আমি ওদের জিজ্ঞাসা করতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ এটা হলো
বুদ্ধ, ওদের জিজ্ঞেস করতে হবে।
এইটা বলছো?
এইটা হ্যাঁ
কোনো বাচ্চার মনে হয় নাকি,
অল্প বয়সী
লেখা
আছে কি? নো জিসাস, জিসাস ইয়েশুয়া দ্য প্রিন্স অফ পিস।
এখানে হ্যাঁ, কারণ this is where we are going to roll the dough.
We can put this in between if you want.
No, the dry করে যাবে শুধু। আচ্ছা। Where is আমার পছন্দিতা এগুলো কাটা হয়ে গেছে, এগুলো সেটা কিছু
আমি আজকে দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
তোরটা এত তাড়াতাড়ি হবে না,
না বেশ সময় লাগে, মাত্র এতক্ষণ না।
আমাকে দেবে একটা ভাজতে নাকি?
না না একদম একেবারে চেয়ারের কাছে না।
না চেয়ার, তুমি ওই চেয়ার করে দাও, অন্য কিছু কাজ করো।
কিছু কিছু আসলে সুপারভাইজ করো আমাদের।
আচ্ছা ওগো এইখানে নিয়ে এসে এখানে প্লাগ করো।
আগুনটা
সিরাপটাকে আমরা
সিরাপ
ছোট আমাকে দিই।
সিরাপ আমিও করতে
আবার দিবে না যে ওটা হবে
বন্ধ না।
ফাদার ওয়াজ
এত আগুনটা ধরেছে, ও দুনিয়া বাঁচাবি তো
সাপটা দেখাচ্ছি।
আই লোক টেরিবল।
একটু দাঁড়িয়ে থাকো, আমি আছি দাঁড়াও।
ভাজাটা যে হবে ভাজাটা কি হবে আর কি মচমচে
হ্যাঁ
হবে।
প্রথমবার যেন
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ঠিকই আছে, আমি তো-
Door services, midday, mostly.
Mataji used to sing this song, and my mother also. The English translation will be that you are so near me, but I don't see thee. You speak to my heart, but why can't I hear it? When I sleep, thou keep me in your bosom. And when I walk, you walk in front of me. It's my heart's intent desire to see thee. এত কাছে তুমি হে আমার, তবু পাই না দেখিতে। এত কাছে তুমি হে আমার, তবু পাই এত কাছে তুমি হে আমার, তবু পাই না
This is a song also by Tagore. Hard to translate, but basically saying that you exist in this entire universe through eternity and through all people. And I have come here as a human searching for you. You are present everywhere, and yet I'm still searching and searching.
মহাবিশ্বে মহাকাশে মহাকাল মাঝে আমি মানব একাকী রবি বিষয়ে রবি বিষয়ে মহাবিশ্বে মহাকাশে মহাকাল মাঝে তুমি আছো বিশ্বনাথ অসীম আদর্শ বাজে তুমি আছো বিশ্বনাথ অসীম আদর্শ বাজে
তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণে খেলা প্রিয় আমার বহু প্রিয়
আহা তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণে খেলা। কেবল তুমি কি গো এমনি ভাবে রাঙে মরে পালিয়ে যাবে। কেবল তুমি কি গো এমনি ভাবে রাঙিয়ে মরে পালিয়ে যাবে। আহা সাধে করে না ধরা দিয়ে আমার রং বক্ষে নিও। আহা সাধে করে না ধরা দিয়ে আমার রং বক্ষে নিও। এই কমলে রাঙা রেণু রাঙাবে উত্তরে। আহা তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণে খেলা। প্রিয় আমার প্রিয় বড় উতলা আজ পারা আমার খেলাতে ভার মানবে। তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণে খেলা।
Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful kirtan. Thank you for the beautiful music. Please bless each and every one of us in this circle, and all of our loved ones, and all of our friends, family. Please bless those who are not with us tonight. Brother Ahimsa. We ask you to hold in the palm of your hand all of those whose names are inscribed in our prayer book, knowing that you know what's best for their highest good and greatest happiness. If you have someone that you would like for us to pray for, especially in this circle tonight, please say so, and if someone speaks at the same time you do, just come in at a later time.
Karen, Norman, Rita, Michael, Erin, Connie, and Jim, Sister Gloria.
Roberta and Michael.
Childa, Maria Eugenia, Eduardo, Maureen Maguire.
Franny.
Matthew, Trina, Conrad, Milan.
John Mason.
Susan Kosa.
Bob, Kenny, Carrie and Joanna.
Mary. Gisette, Lisa, Olivia, Mike and Brenda.
Tristan, Aiden, Rodney, Jeremy, Rose.
Sarah.
Pray for the monastics. We pray for all of the residents of our 4 ashramas. We pray for all who give service. We pray for all who are spiritually affiliated with our 4 ashramas. Pray for all of the children at Naktala, the ashramikas, the mothers. We pray for all who are suffering on any level, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We pray for all who are in authority, that they may govern wisely and well for the benefit of the many. We pray for Anupama, Purna, Chris, and Darshini, and also Didu, whose birthday is this week. They may have every blessing. And we offer thanksgiving to Swamiji and Mataji, who brought us all here for this beautiful ashrama, for the teachings that bring nourishment and strength to so many, many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of souls. We pray that through your grace that somehow we have the blessing of being
Lost to us, there is a sacred shrine, divine harmony sings there, peace perpetual reigns there, pure gladness shines there, sweet fragrance permeates the air, but none can find access there, whose inner eyes are closed, nor can one
none enter there, whose footsteps are heavy and hard. In solitude most stillness, there is a sacred shrine. In this following song, the devotee is praying to God. O Lord, touch my heart with thy magic wand of fire. Sanctify my life with pain and my offering. Elevate my body and make it the altar lamp in thy temple, and let the light burn day and night in my song for thee. In this darkness of my heart, thy touch will create stars, new and newer stars, so that all darkness will vanish from my sight. Wherever I look and whatever I see will be light. My pain will burn and the flames will be directed upwards towards thee. Amen. is in Sanskrit from Rig Veda, and the second part is the Bengali version translated by Tagore. Once again, in the words of the poet Tagore, I see my freedom permeating through the rays of light, the skies, and through every blade of grass on this earth. I lose myself beyond my mortal existence and seek liberation through music and harmony. I achieve freedom through the arduous task of rising above all pains and tribulations. It is then that I attain union with every other soul. I offer my life at the altar of the sacrificial flame to attain salvation.
This coming Thursday evening, Jagadish, Jeff Gilman will be conducting the Thursday evening class. They are driving from the western part of the state, and so he will be conducting the Thursday evening class, and Elizabeth Betsy Gilman will be conducting next Sunday's service at 11. So we're so happy to have them come. And then the following Sunday, we will be observing, this is June 21st, Swami Paramananda's Day of Liberation, so please join us for that. And then on Thursday, June 25th at 7 p.m. here in the temple, we'll be having the 100th anniversary kirtan, and we'll be having singers from our ashram in California and singers from our ashram here, and it'll be a wonderful, strictly meditation and spiritual singing kirtan together here. And then on Sunday, June 28th, I'll be conducting the 11 o'clock service, and then after the service, 1 o'clock, we'll be having our 100th anniversary dinner. And it will be a Bengali meal using Mataji's and Swamiji's recipes. And we are selling tickets. They're $10 for each person. And this is strictly to cover the cost of food. It's not a profit-making venture whatsoever. So Sunrita will be sitting outside under the tree today selling tickets, and we'll be doing it after every service up until that weekend. I also want to share with you that the family spent all day, a good part of yesterday, cooking to make a surprise for you. And they made nimki, which requires making the dough, cutting, and deep fry, and some are salty and some are sweet, and they are absolutely delicious. And I sampled one last night, and the sweet one is delicious. And so everyone, as a gift from the family and a celebration for this weekend, nimkis will be served outside. And chai too, did you say? And chai, Indian tea. So that's wonderful. Now, I ask that the Indian family be able to come out with me when I go, because they have planes to catch and 9-hour drives and all kinds of things. They're scattering back to, when you consider Badal Lama came 14,000 miles to share his presentation with us Thursday evening. So people are going back to India and different parts of the United States and Canada. So they need to get going, but we need to capture them for photographs. So Joanne Berman is waiting, will be waiting outside. So they're going to follow me out so that we can get the pictures taken, and then they can leave. And then I will be delighted to greet each and every one of you. So that's what we'll do. Courage. And this was a terribly difficult month for the community in 1940 when Swami Paramananda died suddenly right in the front of the main house of a heart attack. And the community was totally unprepared for a vital, beautiful person who was only 56. And so when they looked back and heard these words, and that it was the month of faith and courage, and in the Bhagavad Gita it says, O descendant of Bharata, it means each and every one of us. The faith of each one of us is according to our inherent nature. We consist of our faith. We are verily, truly what our faith is. Fearlessness, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, absence of hatred and fear. These, O descendant of Bharata, belong to one born with divine qualities, which we are. And then one of his poems that he chose for this month. Fear not, my heart, even the darkest night must end at dawn. Clouds and mist may come and go, but they cannot rob sun's radiant glow. Look up, mine eyes, keep steady watch, for never must you lose your guiding star. Hold fast, faith and courage are his tender blessings. He will not hold these from thee when he sees your yearning, struggling soul. Rest will come when your toil is done. And for today, June 7th, we must be bold enough, courageous enough to love God and truth above all other things. And the lines to memorize from his poetry: lingering perfume of your presence is ever leading me on. I am following its unseen track day and night with longing in my soul. And the lesson: at the present moment, it is easy for us to have faith in physical, phenomenal things, things we see and hear and touch. But because spiritual things are not perceptible to the senses, we are afraid to place our faith on them and depend on them. Yet God's hand is ever working. The person who knows this has infinite blessing. One who does not know it misses the security of that blessing. God's protection and love are unbounded and unceasing. They never fail us. Realizing this brings wonderful rest to our soul. And the prayer. I lift my thoughts and prayers to you.
I lift my thoughts and prayers to you.
Supreme Guardian of the universe.
Supreme Guardian of the universe.
Who abides in my heart.
Who abides in my heart.
And watches over me at every moment.
And watches over me at every moment.
May I never live apart from you.
May I never live apart from you.
May I find all my joy in you.
May I find all my joy in you.
And depend on you for all my needs.
And depend on you for all my needs.
May your blessing rest upon my life.
May your blessing rest upon my life.
Please stand for the benediction. May God be absolute, one without a second, the one in whom we live and move and have our being, the one God who is called by many names, Christ of the Christians, Allah of the Muslims, Hashem of the Jewish people, Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, Buddha of the Buddhists, Shangdi of the Chinese, the Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Shakti, Ishvara, Brahman, the Divine Mother, the Infinite and all-abiding Spirit of the Hindus. May you, who are our Mother, Father, friend, beloved, companion, and guide, grant unto us all peace and blessing. Peace,
Peace,
peace
be unto us and unto all living